Hi everyone, welcome back to the Science Labs at the Nature Museum. I'm Nicole, and today we're going to be exploring patterns in nature using a fun kaleidoscope activity. Our friend, artist Catherine Lampert, is going to take us through it. Let's check it out together. Okay, so today we're going to do a stand-up nature kaleidoscope. And I like to start with taking a bag that I can use to collect all kinds of interesting objects from my natural surroundings. On the museum grounds today we found all kinds of interesting leaves and bark and flowers. And then what you're going to need are two small craft mirrors. These are pretty easy to find. You might have to buy them online, but I actually found a package of 5 3-inch mirrors for under $2 online. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. Enough for 2 kids to make their own stand-up kaleidoscope. You're going to turn them over onto the back. Using any sort of tape that you have lying around. I happen to have this Blue Painter's masking tape. I'm going to leave a tiny little gap between the mirrors because it's going to make it easier for me to fold them, and just tape them on the back. So I like to put a nice clean sheet of white paper underneath my stand-up kaleidoscope so that the texture of whatever your work surface is doesn't become part of your project unless you want it to. And then just using whatever interesting objects you found, lay them inside your kaleidoscope. And this is so fun. I feel like you can just play with this. It doesn't have to, you don't have to have a finished product. It can be fun also to sort of snap photos as you go along of your favorite arrangements. We were lucky we found a lot of really cool flowers here, but you can also use stones or grass, any type of leaves, twigs, make interesting patterns. And then it's also fun to play with the angle of your kaleidoscope. This one's at about a 45-degree angle, but you'll notice that your pattern repeats fewer times the wider you make your angle. And of course, you'll repeat your pattern more times if you make your angle narrower. This really relates to my work as an artist, which explores pattern in nature. So I love this project. So another really fun way to continue experimenting with your stand-up kaleidoscope is to do some sketching from your nature objects and use your sketch in the kaleidoscope. So I was very inspired by this little leaf and these orange flowers that we found. And I am just making a quick design. It's fun to experiment with making different patterns with your drawing. And in this case, maybe it's easier to move your kaleidoscope versus moving the paper. So this project's intended for kids, but I just love playing with it. I could keep going and making more sketches and seeing how they look in the kaleidoscope is so much fun. And actually over the weekend with my kindergartner, we did this project and she did both drawing and putting nature objects in her kaleidoscope and really wound up playing with it for hours. It was so much fun. So that's our stand-up nature kaleidoscope project for today. Hope you enjoyed. Wow, Catherine, thanks so much for sharing. That was so neat. Patterns are such an interesting way for us to explore nature and science together. Why don't you keep your eyes open for patterns when you're exploring outside too, and let us know what you find. Thanks so much. Bye.